Hey, sports fans. Man, it's fucking hot today. It's like 105 in El Paso, at 95, 96 inside by the AC. Trying to got some perforated sheet metal. Uh, it's got tiny little holes in it. So I'm thinking I got this 1927 house. Go up on the roof and cut by the top of the roof. It's got a pitch of 4 by 12, 4 inches every foot. Uh, and cut a strip, I guess, like a couple feet over the top, put it over the top of the ridge on the roof, and then about a foot or two down each side, and then nail it down. This caveman, Barney Rubble shit. And then put another one, raise it up about an inch or two, like a cap over that to keep the water out. And I was going to put some that roof sealer I got. Just trying to learn how to do this shit. They got a nice one in Lowe's is about $157, man. Uh, I do it myself. I'm trying to stay in that frame of mind type shit. There's all these schools and shit are teaching mechanical engineering, and I'm looking at the Sphinx, the pyramids, motherfuckers moving in big 250,000 pound granite blocks and limestone blocks and all that shit. They got the Sphinx's gold on top and lined up with the stars, the rotation, gravitation. They was into all that shit. That's like 7,000 years ago. And the water underneath the now it was a rainy period back then or something. To create energy, you got the shaft in the middle of that Giza pyramid that it's got a chamber. They say it was for burial, but it's empty. And I think the French or something, they're going in there and run a acoustics test. That shaft goes down to where there was an underground channel or canal or something. You could hear the noise of the water was like deafening inside. That's a power that's created, captured and created. So I see they're fucking the seventh wonder of the world and all that. It's I got now on YouTube some recent in the last month, 2 weeks, month, but international scientists, engineers, and whatnot, architects, which my family was into that, so it's kind of interesting to me a little bit. And then they said Rolling Stones on. They had a picture of hieroglyphics of a large barge that was coming down the Nile from 100 miles up at the quarry for those obelisks. Those like towers with the point on the top, the Washington Monument, all that shit. 300 feet or something, like a football field, something like that. Using that buoyancy of the water to carry all that weight, and then distribute the weight. Some of these truckers can't figure that shit out. It's common sense. So, yeah. And it says they unload them. They had a port over there by where that pyramid is, about a mile over, something like that, half a mile, something like that. So and then they had giants back then, big motherfuckers. They say roll it on logs maybe, and then put sand down but there's a rolling resistance of the sand. It said this guy wasn't a priest blessing the sand. He was putting water on the sand in front of the load because that cut the resistance in half, so it was easier to push or pull. But they put some stakes on the side, and put rope to pull it. And if they had like some pulleys, that would make it easier. One guy calculated, this young guy, he said it comes down to about 60 pounds for each man to pull. That's like a bag of cement. Uh, I don't think I could do that for very long, but it gets it down to the human level. I don't know. It shows, flying carpets, and a guy looks like a guy built a little metal uh, copy of this. Like a guy sitting like a little rocket ship. He's got some controls and something for his nose if he's going up in the air with something to breathe. His both feet are on a couple of pedals. I know that's interesting. This shit is carved into the stones and all. So I guess they're trying to tell us what's going on, something like that. I keep seeing it. I don't know what the fuck it is. There's a bird sitting there. There's another bird sitting there. What the fuck is that? What kills me is it's a human body with a like a dog head, like a dachshund or something, and or like a bird with a pointed beak, or like an eagle with a beak. Like what the fuck is this, man? and, and the aliens and all that. So I don't know. It's they're making up shit too. It says one alien type was trying to kiss. They wanted to have sex with the humans and all that. Whatever. Hey, you never know. Fuck. But how about myself? And I've worked on my own cars for a long time in my truck. Uh, Truck shit gets heavy, man. You're trying to pull something with a rope or a strap. It's incredible. Like I was hanging these doors, and people broke into my house 7 fucking times and tore a couple of doors off the hinges. It's old wood, and I guess they get off on kicking it or knocking it loose or something. So let me fix this shit. I had a guy in an AA meeting in Long Beach talking about, have you ever hung a door? No, I haven't. I'm more of a driver. But there's 3 screws in a hinge, one on each side of the plate. I get wood screws like an inch and a half, 2 inches. Some of them are like 1 inch. I got my Phillips screwdriver. I said, well, let me learn how to do this shit. What I do, put on the bottom of the door is like a little triangle shaped wedge. Lift it up a little bit, put that wedge in there, and then maybe tap it with a hammer a little bit. That'll raise the height of the door. You put it where you want it, and then either a drill or a nail, tap it a couple of times, make a starter hole, and then put that spit on that screw, the wood screw, and put a little lubricant on there. This door I got in the bedroom, the wood is, the screw holes are too big. It starts costing more money. The thicker screws with an anchor, or put an anchor on the wood screw, that'll tighten it up. And you got the 3. If one's a little loose, the other 2 will pick up the slack a little bit. I'm just doing a half-ass. I never done this shit, so I just want to be able to open and close the door. I got other shit to do, but I'm surprised. I was doing a back door. I'm fucking amazed. A little screw like an inch. You put one of them will hold the door up with that little piece of wood underneath, and then balance it just right, and then do the second screw, And after you get through a minute, it's on there pretty good. Do the bottom one, same thing. Okay, put the third one in just to make sure, give it that little extra strength. And once you get it tight in there, it's like it's holding the door just fine. It opens and closes. And like, hey, what the fuck, man? These are the newer. What I got here in my room is an old wood, solid, solid wood door. It's got some slats in it, decorative style, and then a square on the top. Interesting, but it's solid wood, so it's a little heavier. You got to balance it, move it, you know. Uh, so that's like AA says, it's easier to move a couch with two people. Try to ask people for help, but I get so fed up sometimes with people. My buddy was over here trying. It's like he's working against you. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Guy's pushing 60 years old. I mean, he's trying to act cool and shit. I said, what the fuck? What are you thinking, man? You just. I've worked all my life, two and three jobs. I'm retired now, 76, 77 next month. My lady friend finally, after 10 years, I give up on her, man. The fuck, she's trying to get that SSI for being crazy. She finally started, 900 a month, which plus housing, welfare mentality. She started working her ass off. Got a 19 bucks an hour. Okay, you're making more than I was making driving a truck, my own truck. So the expenses to fix it kill you. So, she's on her feet all day from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon. So she was working a baseball game selling food or some shit. My feet are hurting. I said, I don't know what to tell you, man. It fucking. She had a kid, and she's 260 pounds. She lost 10 pounds. I said, that's good. I see a lot of people with driving a truck and everything else, man. They're fucking people. My dad said, everybody got problems. Don't tell me your problems. We all got problems. You know, I just try to be patient and finally got off drugs and drinking. Fucking praise the Lord. I try to encourage her. Mother died. Yeah, my dad died. My mother died. My brother died. My brother-in-law died. Motherfucker, my cousins all died in Yuma, Arizona. Turn around, man. There ain't nobody left. Man, what up? So this is life. My buddy over there, Long Beach, he had $2 million. Talking about 90 surgeries. I don't know. After I left, like in '95, I don't know what happened to him. He caught cancer, beat it. He had long hair and shit. I guess he shaved all his hair or whatever. Took that chemo. I feel sorry for his daughter, and then I called her up when he died. And I said, did he pay off that warehouse? Yeah, he got to pay it off. Motherfucker, that's worth Signal Hill, California. That's worth, I'm going to say a good 500,000. So she's selling bikes, got biker babes workshop and all that. With a Harley Davidson, that's a whole cult like thing. Good people. I told her, I said the last time I seen you was, I think he was 6 years old when I bought this little sporty off Mike O'Brien. I said, you said, oh, then her brother, I think he was 20, did 3 years for burglary or something. He's got a picture on the internet who's got all them $100 bills. And Eric, fuck. See the kid over there, he's like 8 years old on a skateboard. Mike's over there with the bikes, had a couple of partners. They're wheeling and dealing, kids over there. So the next thing I know, he's went to prison for 3 years, gets out. Died in a car accident. The guy was speeding or some shit. Her mother finally got out of prison. That's fucking about 17 years. Third time getting busted for heroin. You know, but when I was down and out, man, them motherfuckers. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, man? Nothing, man. Just truck driver shit. AA. You always got something at AA. Thanksgiving, pay a couple dollars or something. I said nothing. He says, "Hey, come on over to the house." They got all the trains. He's watching the marathon of Twilight Zone. I'm like, it's cool. I used to watch that all the time. You go back to the 50s, man. So he treated me right. And I was telling his daughter, they buried him at Cedar Sinai, man. This for the fucking rich, man. Fucking, just a regular guy. He said, "Hey, I started with a garage in the alley and just spray painting, buying old pickup trucks and spray painting them, double the price, and try to buy them cheap." He started in with the motorcycles. He spray painted fenders and tank, and everybody, Mike, you don't wear no mask. I think that's where the cancer come from. He was 5 years younger than me. He'd work his ass off, fucking basically 6 days, 7 days a week, and his partners. These are bad motherfuckers. Jim fucking died, went to his mother's house up by Lompoc. Said he fucking had Thanksgiving dinner with something, laid down, fucking died. He was on drugs and shit, so that probably a heart, like Mitch McConnell. Like I say, I read my Bible every day. Now I'm 47 years clean and sober by the grace. And just, it is, I was looking at what God creates your liver and your stomach and your heart and your muscles and your eyes. Be grateful, man. Uh, your hearing, your brain, it's what a fucking machine, That's only God could make something like that. And if you're a scientist, prove me wrong. Let's see what you got to say. I mean, it's just something that's beyond. I ain't stupid, but that's beyond my comprehension. That God decided, created the heavens and the earth, decided to got some sand and blew some life into created man. Fuck yeah, life, man. Yeah. I mean, I ain't a saint. I like to joke around a little bit. Love to look at good-looking women and all that. But that internet is some shit, man. These fucking broads show you every fucking thing, but I mean, what? I ain't paying nothing, man. What you're supposed to do? Type a message and say, well, I'm old. They're looking for a guy around 30 or something. They're young and they go and fuck all weekend or something. Or go dancing and go out to eat and all that shit. Hey, let them said, I want to have some kids. Start up. Yeah, okay, well that's good. That ain't for me, man. I had my one son. He died. He was disabled. Man, what a bunch of shit that was. And she took off. She had 9 pregnancies. I think it's just a welfare type thing to get food stamps. And 18, 19, 17 years old, it started. Mom and dad threw them out or they ran away. Or anyhow, back to school time and football and the holidays. Here we go back to the family thing. My family, to me, is dysfunctional. But I fucked up. I didn't kill nobody. I ain't Charles Manson. But, after a while, you get a certain age and it's like, does it even matter what you got? I'm glad you made it. I told him that shit. I'm glad you're living in a nice house, driving a nice car. You had a large family. God bless you. But you got this thing where you can't stand me and you're not going to have nothing to do with me. This is my dad's will, the 20-year thing. Fucking. My nephew's a drunk. He's just called me up. Oh, Uncle Vic, Uncle Vic, Uncle Vic. Motherfucker, man. But, in AA it says when all else fails, talk to a drunk. And I said, man, I'm glad I don't drink no more. The guy's a fucking piece of fucking shit. Talking shit. Oh, but he's making money, Orange County. Well, I got this, I got this. I fly, I play the drums, and semiconductors, the whole world revolves around us. Yeah, the narcissist ego. Yeah, the whole world revolves around you. I said, you're 66, motherfucker. I says, your health. I said, you need to quit drinking. Even his son told him he's doing like rock and roll shows for Broadway or whatever. He's all over the place. And the other one got a gallery in New York, $1 million paintings, and he graduated NYU and all that shit. Blah blah blah. Who gives a fuck? I said, I used to hang in Washington Square Park. I said, did your son ever go to the park across the street? He changes the subject. He won't even, it's like you're talking to the wall, And what are you going to do? Look at the politics. They're looking with Iran, with a backed off. I love Trump to death, man. Him and Melania. And, I seen Trump back in the 70s, man. He had a WWF wrestling. He was involved in that a little bit. He's got the fights, UFC fights. And the guy don't stop. He's about 3 years older than me, man. I got hepatitis C. I'm kind of sluggish, so I'm going to get my Medicaid tomorrow. I see the lady. She's going to sign me. I started 5 years ago. I had a drunk agent. He come over and when I was taking a break from the truck, we go get groceries and get some Mexican food or some shit, bullshit. Hates Trump, and the guy got money. They're just to me obnoxious. It says, do you hate people with money because you're jealous or you don't have it? You self sabotage to keep that hate and that attitude that I got. I was working on that a little bit. I rubbed elbows with people that got all kinds of money. I was in Europe when I was, in the college years. I was 20, 21. I had nothing but energy, and I met all kind of people. But I was just, I don't know what I was trying to prove, man, that I could outdrink somebody. That I used to hitchhike and act stupid, but that's some good people, one guy, I was hitchhiking. A guy picked me up by Taos, New Mexico, on the 40, going L.A. to New York, and he was hanging out with Peter Fonda in Taos. I don't know where he was going. He gave me a ride for a couple of hours or something. Sit there bullshitting, smoking cigarettes. Maybe they got a little speed or some pot or some beer. No big fucking deal, nice. Everybody always had a nice car. Uh, I only got stuck twice in the United States, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just it's a fucking 8 hour ride. I've been cross country. But it's kind of at the end of the Vietnam War. Try to keep myself pretty clean and hitchhiking. I never, I never used to wait over 5 minutes for a ride. Somebody in a brand new car picked me up, and maybe half hour, maybe a couple of hours, out west. And I got stuck in Atlanta one time, downtown Atlanta, trying to get out of there. Motherfucker. I think I was there three or 4 hours, and then finally a black guy gave me a ride to the outskirts. We ride for about half an hour or so. And it's in Marseille, France. I hitchhiked down there and come back. And by the train station, was thinking about trying to sneak on a train, but walked like to the edge of town. I was there 24 fucking hours. Finally, somebody give me a ride. The French people, they say you're young. I have long hair, and somebody's either gonna like a hippie, well then pick this guy up, or fuck that, whatever, man. This girl gave me a ride coming out of Paris, and then she gave me her phone number. I looked her up, I went over there, got laid. She did my laundry, listening to the Beatles. I'm like, making love, make love. Took me to a swimming pool. Real nice, fucking nice. But that's the Epstein thing with the girls of Paris and London. Well, it was when I was growing up back in the early '70s. It was uh, the fashion industry was L.A., San Francisco, Chicago, New York, maybe Miami, the big cities, and then London, Paris, Rome. Uh, I'm looking at the Epstein shit now. This is with that fashion world. I didn't know. I had no idea. Never really thought about it. Yeah. Yeah, London back with the Beatles back in '63, '64 with the micro mini skirts, what do you call them, the go-go dancers and all that shit. Real skinny Twiggy, real skinny kind of with the long blonde hair and the boots, whatever. Yeah, the Beatles and the Stones, and you see that it was with the M5 or M6 from England, like the CIA said, well, the Beatles, Paul McCartney died in a sports car, and then to get a guy that looked like him, Paul McCartney, I think he was a left-handed bass player, whatever, they got it just for that image because they were making money and they were in a position to run propaganda to the American youth, try to guide which way they're going. If they used to try to sell shit to the teenagers because the teenagers spend their money or their parents' money. So they would cater the businesses in America. And now I see these kids as 2 and 3 years old. They're on a smartphone, and it's not all good. It's not all bad. But the money thing, see, there's cheerleaders on Instagram and all that. The dad's over there dying. The girl looks 8, 10 years old or something, but a cheerleader. He said, man, them fucking them uniforms at $500 that goes my house mortgage, more than a house mortgage. You got to live life, what you signed up for that shit. My dad was tight. He had My sister tells me now she's 92. Oh, dad he whipped me a bunch of times with his belt, and I can't even picture that. He was 5'1", suit and tie guy, Mason, a 32nd degree Mason with a diamond ring. And he was just, to me, it was about intelligence, education, and work, and saving your money. And use your head. I seen Trump's father he would look like with with, what do you call it, the Stetson hat that my dad would be on. They're about the same age, and my mother. And it's just that way of thinking, that way of doing, you know, in business, whatever. Yeah. Sitting here trying to figure out that stock market, man, went up this first thing this morning and come way back down, and kind of stayed there. So I don't know, man. It was up Friday, man. It was fucking jamming. I'm backing off. That's like about the third time. Whatever I put in there, $100 or $1,000 in a week or two, I'm losing it all. So I said, well, I got other stuff to do. I need to fix that roof. It's miserable right here. $8,000 for one of them 3-ton refrigeration units. You got to get it up there with a crane, this, that, and the other. Get 4 or 5 Mexican guys. Good $8,000. Oh, you got to put. I got this house in inheritance, man. There ain't no duct work up there. So I'm looking all that stuff up to find out what I'm talking. It shit starts costing money and labor. I'm starting to figure it out a little bit. The guy next door got those swamp coolers with a downdraft and got a little metal bracket to hold it level. And then downdraft, I guess, I don't know if you need a little small base, 3 or 4 inches, something like that comes up a little bit. Then the swamp cooler shoots the air down in and put some sealer around the edges, something like that. And then hook up a copper wire to the water line to get that water into them pads, and then it blows the cooler air inside. I was driving a truck. I seen somebody say, "No, I'm the swamp cooler." What's that? Never heard of it. They're all into air. I got a window unit too. I never had an air conditioner. It's so fucking hot out here. You gotta have. Got a couple of backup ones. I got a bigger one on the other side, but the thing too is that with the roof, I was looking at convection heat when the sun hits the roof tiles, and they're dark gray, almost black. That absorbs heat, and by noon, 11 in the morning, that heat goes onto the wood, to the shingles, the roofing paper, and then the plywood. That all gets hot, and it transfers the heat into the attic area, and then the attic area heats up the floor or the ceiling of my room, and the rest of the house, and it starts heating up the room. So you're fighting against that. You need that little vent, a couple of them. And I thought, well, maybe I'll make a 4-foot vent. If I put some more hinges on there with that plywood, is about 3 or 4 feet, 4 by 8, and put a couple of hinges on it in the summertime, open it up, put some screen around the opening, 2 or 3, 4 feet like a door. In the wintertime, close it up and put some sealer around there, put some more roofing paper and shingles or something so the water don't get in. And put some screen so the bugs don't get in. It's a project. I'll probably do that next year. And then, get it started, prop it up with something or the other. I'm learning, the shingles so that they can resist up to 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. As it gets pretty windy over here, and then it says you pay more money, wind resistance to 100 miles an hour, like Florida, hurricane zone or something. Because I've seen them down south and all every year with this. They have a tornado or some shit, the Panhandle, the Gulf, and Texas. Fucking the roofs are all torn off. You got a metal roof or shingles or whatever. The whole roof is torn off. That fucking winds at like 120 miles an hour, like that, up to 150 miles an hour. Hey, there ain't no stopping that. It's over at L.A. and Cheyenne, Wyoming. Well, all of Wyoming. It'll tell you on the signs on the interstate, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. I think the lowest is 50 miles, but that will if you don't have a heavy load on your trailer, that'll tip a truck over. Now I slow down when it's real windy and just keep going. I've seen a bunch of guys started going underneath the interstate overpass underneath the. I guess you get a little more protection there, or whatever, a little bit. But if you got a light load, you tip over. You see guys tipped over. L.A. the same thing coming out of name of that Ontario truck stop. Gigantic. I got two truck stops next to each other. Gigantic. So I was sitting windy as fuck, man. It was Santa Ana winds, like in springtime. And fucking guys come in. Oh man, there's a couple of guys flipped over. I had to go about afternoon drop off or something. I had to go about 5 miles over towards the mountain. And I swear to God, I got about a mile out of that truck stop, and there was two trailers flipped over real quick. Starts picking up in the afternoon. It started in the morning a little bit, but it gets strong and it gusts. I'm praying, man. I said, fuck, I just pray to God that I don't get flipped over. There's nothing you can do after a while. Well, go for it, man. Whatever. You got to deal with this shit. You go on there and pray to God you don't flip over. So I've seen 3 or 4 trucks within 5 minutes after I left the truck stop flipped over. I mean, I'm a fuck. So I used to drive truck in L.A. and I can't remember the wind being that strong because I used to go from Long Beach out to Riverside and shit. There, Ontario, it's all the rail yards and the factories and warehouses and shit. It's like horse shit over there. So drive at night. I had some doubles. I pulled some doubles, and I remember that fucking back trailer, the second trailer all the way in the back was it'd be swinging out of about a foot or two. See it in the rearview mirror. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, you get a little scared, you get a little nervous, but at all gas, but those tankers were kind of aerodynamic. I don't know, loaded down, they're heavy. When you're empty, I don't know, man. It's a weird deal. So, but in Pecos, Texas, man, they had a windstorm come up, but I just finished building this little shack, and I'm standing in the. I was putting up the electric pole with the electric boxes and all that. Motherfucker, come about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the wind starts blowing like not all of a sudden, and I got scared. I got a '68 Cadillac that's heavy as fuck, and I'd seen some shit on the television, but I got in that little shack, that doorway. I didn't know what to do. That wind, I know it was a good 60 mile an hour, but I said, man, I said this. It nailed a sheet metal on top of that little shack. I figured that was going to come off. Start rattling a little bit. You nail it down as good as you can. I say, well, let's see. Is it going to hold up or not? You got to try something different to put some more wood screws or whatever. Put some tires on top of it so that holds it in place. The mobile home, the same thing. Put some tires on the roof. What's that for? It gets windy out here. It'll rip the roof off. You're going to try to hold it down. Well, don't ask me. Out here I had a couple of tarps over my Cadillac. That fucking wind ripped that shit apart, man. It ain't doing nothing to the car. That car's solid, but I could picture it was blowing so fucking strong. I could picture that fucking little tornado or something lifting that car. I'd seen some Midwest, Tornado Alley, Oklahoma, Kansas, all that shit. where it'll lift a cow, goes flying a football field away, or the cars that get like uh, the flash floods. They're so fucking strong, and that wind too, it'll lift the shit up or the roof of a house, and it blows it off the house. It's a mile down the road. You know, you can't even comprehend that shit. That shit's strong, man. But that, once in a blue moon, man. You know, my buddy over here, Rick, he was at AA. He said he'd been driving a truck for a while. He said somewhere, I don't know, Oklahoma or some shit, a truck stop, and went to park. I said, "There's a tornado coming." He said, "Ah, fuck it, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired, man." So he went to sleep. He come in a TA about 5 or 6 hours later. I guess he woke up and went in there to use the restroom. He said his fucking window broke. And he said, "Man, a tornado just came through here." He slept through it. Got to watch, you know. Sometimes that hill country, man, it's sad. Them kids was in camp and a flash flood come up quick. I seen one in Palmdale a couple of times with that the little arroyos they call them. It's dry desert. You hope it rains. You know, it's under the thunderstorm. I mean, monsoon they call it, and starts raining real hard, real heavy, and it fills up those arroyos, kind of like a little river, like a canal sort of, and that rain accumulates in there real quick. I mean, these are gigantic storms. You know, they cover a lot of area, so they start, and the water starts running downhill a little bit and picks up. And don't you know they got pictures where these people is crossing the road. There's a low spot in the road, and here comes the water. Let's say it's 30, 40 feet across, or 50 feet, 60 feet across, and it's deceptive. It don't look like it's that deep. You know, you're driving, just come out of LA or something, it's all asphalt and no water all of a sudden, or it's raining a little bit. You're not thinking nothing. All of a sudden, you see this thing. You're not paying attention. You don't know. The thing might be a foot, maybe 2 feet, maybe 3 feet, like a yardstick, because you don't know how much that road dips down, but it's full, kind of overflowing for that dip, and all you see is a level surface, water, a level surface, and you're not thinking how, you know, New York City, same thing. I was driving a cab and it rained like a motherfucker. That, and it's them potholes you got to watch, or the dips. That's an old fucking city, and they tell you that the other drivers. I'm drinking. I think I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm going to go through this shit. I got a nice running car. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 times. You hit that water kind of fast, you know, and it throws the front tire throws that water right onto the starter, and it shorts out the negative and positive. You know, throws whoom, water like that, and it makes it shorts it out. As water is a conductor of electricity, it shorts it out right there. Your motor stalls out. You got a passenger in the back. Oh, you know, hey, motherfucker, you're the one that's in a hurry. You know, whatever. You give it a minute or two, it'll start up again. Sometimes they don't want to start up again. You might be sitting there for an hour. Happened to me in the truck. I'm out in the Midwest, and Man, it was fucking raining like I ain't never seen. And the batteries, had that battery box. I lost a couple of them. Forgot to tighten both straps down or whatever. Motherfucker bounces off. You run over it. It's like, fuck. They want 40 to 100 bucks for a new one. You got to stop what you're doing, go to the junkyard, find one. You let it go. Fucking raining. And the battery terminal, you got four batteries, and the battery terminals are sticking up. And that water was coming so hard, and it made a connection between the positive and the negative terminals. Just shorted out just for a couple of seconds, but it stopped the current, and the motor stopped running. So I was sitting there, I was talking to my friend in L.A. or something. Oh man, I sat there for like an hour or two. It's pouring rain. It's kind of neat, but want to get rolling. I had a load on. So after I ran out there, it was fucking pouring, wouldn't let up. I ran out there real quick. Let me start. Fucking the covers fell off. When the cover's on there, there's no rain getting inside. You know, started up after a couple of hours. It's fucking thank God. It's miserable to drive in that kind of shit, but you gotta take that load. And I know too, with a snowstorm or rainstorm, if you drive, you're going east to west, north to south, whichever. You keep driving for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, 6 hours. You go through there. Some of them storms, you drive 250, 300 miles. Them storms are, might take up hitting a couple of different states, depending on where you're at. 300 miles, maybe a little more, somewhere around there. But if you keep driving, you finally end up getting through it. Like I went one time, it was foggy. Fog. I just got into Wyoming, around Cheyenne or something. It was a good 200 miles or so. It felt like the whole fucking state. There was a fog. Fog. There was a little bit of mist or something, but man, you couldn't see 20 feet in front of you. I'm doing like 45 miles. There's a guy see the tail lights. It's like I almost hit this guy. He's doing 40 and 35. Let me go around this motherfucker, followed him for about half an hour. I said, ready to go to sleep, man. Scared shit. You cannot see nothing. And you go in the fast lane, some of these guys out in Wyoming, man, might get a cattle hauler that's going 60, 70 miles an hour. That fog hit me in LA, the same thing. Coming up to Palmdale, and first thing in the morning, man, that fog is so thick, you can't see 20, 30, 40 feet ahead of you. And I'm in a slow lane. I slowed down. I said, fuck it. Here comes a highway patrol, man. That guy's doing about 80, 90 miles an hour right into that fog. Well, he must know, be used to it or something. I start to go around this slow truck in front of me. Here comes a motherfucker. Boom, doing about 60, 65. Luckily, I seen him right at the last second, and I stayed in my lane. I said, oh, man, fucking could have got killed. And then I waited some more and just try to be patient. But I mean, you got a ways to go. I think I was going back to Pennsylvania. So you got to roll, man. I waited once, and God help me get around this fucking guy. Times you get around him, you go a mile. There's another guy that's going real slow. But I couldn't believe it all the way through Wyoming. It seemed like the minute I got out of there to Nebraska, cleared up. So I got no idea. Seeing they got these new Ray-Ban glasses and all with a camera and Wi-Fi. It'll talk to you. $5.99. Fuck that shit. You look good. Yeah, I'm old. I don't have to impress anybody. Let me see if they got it on Walmart. Walmart, $79. Okay, what are you gonna do, man? Buddy. Yeah, yeah. I figure shit out in my head a little bit, and then so I got to do the shower, brass pipes. You got to get up on it. But you got the those shark connectors with the copper pipe in there. Just and the things I got it off. Just you got the bathtub. The shit's old. I'm trying to reach over my head. I got the thing off slightly, like an eighth of an inch or something. I figure it's going to sink into that connector, and I'll be okay. It's a little lopsided, and it's like pushing. It's not straight. So now I was looking, and there's a little tool or something. Is that you got the connection, and then a little plastic thing on it that goes in it, and there's like a ring on the outside, and there's a little tool that you can compress it. I probably just use some pliers or something. I got some channel locks now, not the real big ones. I had to get about $12, get the 12-inch. Those I used that a lot. Daddy stole that shit, but I got another one. I just kind of squeeze down on it and then pull back. But you can still use. I said $5, no big deal. I got away from my Social Security money, but I looked this shit up and I said, well, let me see if I can salvage this and fix it. And if that don't work, I go buy another one. I got two. I already bought them. So what I'll do is I'll put the new ones on and even that shit. I need to get a little balance thing, a level. Put it on top of the shower, the copper pipes on top to see if that's level, and then cut the pipe. How I need to do it. Put the, as you can't see it, that it's about an inch. That connector when you put the pipe in, you can't see where it bottoms out. You can guess. I'm going to maybe mark it a little better, like a screwdriver or a pen or something in there, and see. Okay, this is where it comes out at. It went in this far, and then put that on the outside edge and mark it there. That's where it bottomed out. That's where the bottom is. So then measure each side to get them even. You know, it just I got so much shit to do. And then a 68 caddy, man. I'm watching this guy rebuild the 500 motor. I got the 47 motherfucker, got the garage, got a lift. He's got all the new parts. Real nice guy, cool, calm, and collected. He took his time with it. We've been doing this for a while. It's about 2,500 for the deluxe master kit for rebuilt parts, and then the rings, the pistons, all that shit. What you want to do? I got a guy here in El Paso for 2,500. It's probably 3,000 now, but you have to take the motor out to him. That's the problem because I don't have a pickup truck. So I'm looking at a pickup truck. These motherfuckers, 64 pickup with a Chevy, no motor, no trans, no title. It's like fuck you. Well, $3,000 or $4,000 because it's a classic and all that shit. Not a classic, asshole. These are Mexicans. It's an antique. Antique category. Classic is 20 years. Antique is 25 years. You want to get the historical plates at the motor vehicles. But you don't know nothing, but you know that older motherfuckers like me that like these old cars that your uncle died or something, and you got it. You sold the motor and trans, and now you're trying to get an extra 4 grand for your coke habit or some shit. That's what it is. Or just to fuck somebody. That's why I said, these fucking ice men, send them all back. Well, we were here first at Chihuahua, like 250 miles from El Paso. They weren't over here back in the 50s. Now it's the murder capital of fucking Mexico. Yeah, half of them motherfuckers from Chihuahua are over here. The Hells Angels, the Banditos, the cartel. Nothing good, you know. So with the drugs, trying to make $1 million overnight. You probably got a small dick. You need money to get laid because, I got no mercy for these fucking guys. Monkey see, monkey do. They just showing in El Paso the drunk drivers and arrested for stealing, shoplifting, all these dark brown types with just that deer caught in the headlight look. I mean, these motherfuckers. I want to ask them: Did you even? I don't know where they're from, man. I don't know. Did you even graduate from seventh or eighth grade from elementary school? I mean, I'm not speaking English. Went out there Saturday night. I'm in my shorts, man. It's fucking hotter than fuck. Normally I got clothes on, shit, but it's miserable. So I'm walking. I got the front door open. Get a little breeze. And there's a fucking guy. It's a lawyer lady next to me, and the guy's standing right by her sign. But I look in. I don't really care if you see me in my shorts. I really don't give a fuck. I'm in my house. But when I come out of my room, going to the kitchen, I'm like about 20 feet from the front door, and he's about 25, 30 feet, about 50 feet away. But I mean, because the door is open, he's looking in. I had a guy here. My ex told me, "Oh, you got a peeping tom. They want to see what you got inside. If it's worth stealing or breaking into your house, they want to see. See, I ain't leaving no more, so I ain't got no problem. When I'm out, I come back to the house 2 or 3 weeks or a week. I get a load for JB Hunt. I'm out of here. They're watching you. They walk by every. There's some weird motherfuckers out here, and they're always looking. Mostly businesses over here, one or two residential, but they want to see. They're walking through the alley in the front, and if I want to, I can have a criminal mind if I so choose. I would do the same thing, walk around, make a quick hit. You know, you can't be at two places at once. Maybe the guy's taking a nap. I don't see. Guy left that poor guy's dying of heat. He's an old motherfucker. They don't think like that. Oh, the door is open, so I'm entitled. There's a politics about it. To go in, they're making jokes about it. What if I break into your house? And the cops, like, they stole my motorcycle, man. A detective comes over here like a cheerleader, and we got the serial number of your bike, and this is the National Stolen Parts, whatever, list. And that was, what, 4 years ago? They sent me a letter about 9 months ago. It says, if you haven't recovered your stuff, you still want us to keep looking. I put, yeah, it was the last day to get it back into probably a day or two late. I put it in the mailbox. I said, I don't give a fuck no more. You got me, motherfucker. And probably late. Politics. Oh, well, let's throw this in the garbage. It's late. Void. I guess he doesn't want his motor. It's not that I don't want my motorcycle back, motherfucker. Uh, the guy next door in security, he says, I got a picture of the guy that stole your bike. I said, well, let me talk to the detective. He says, the problem is you can't get the cops to do nothing about it, which tells me also that I had a bunch of guys, me and some Italians in New York one time. And yeah, I knew them in the West Village. I'm going to go drive a cab. I got long hair. Fucking drink it. I know the fucking guys who used to work down Wall Street, whatever. I had a bunch of guys one day. We just don't like the way you look. You know, walking back to work Monday or something. About 2 o'clock, get my cab, get out of there by 4 or whatever. Grab a sandwich and a beer. Pick up the people coming out of work at 5. Fucking cop sitting right there by Chevron Square. It's an old Italian cop. I was just thinking about him this morning. That's this man I come walking by. Got hair down on my ass. I said, hey, it's like my dad. He was cool about it. He didn't ask me did I do it. He said if you hit one more person in the mouth, if you hit one more person, him and his partner there, he says we're going to put you in intensive care. You know that's what they did back then. The cops, you get 5 or 6 of them. And like this, I fought 5 when I first got to New York. I'm lucky I'm not Bruce Lee, but I think they knew who I was. Not that I gave a shit, but I'm just thinking about that. That Italian, I was like 27. He was like 57. I'm looking, they got some mafia cops in New York City. They got that look like, whatever, you play both sides of the fence, whatever, you know, keeping your mouth shut. I got my cousin, my uncle, the godfather of my children, and that was like a kind of like a lost soul. You don't want to fuck with him. I mean, he was. I never really looked at him. I seen him once or twice, but it's like he's like a New Yorker. Maybe his parents are from Italy. You don't want to play with this motherfucker. Yeah, you know. So I took that verbatim. I fucked up, man. I fucked up. I should have gone into boxing. It was $3,000 for three rounds, prelims, like in Philly. I was pretty good with my. I knew how to box. You know, looking back, I should have done that. Maybe I don't know. I see some boxers from Texas, Mexican, one or two guys that went up to Jersey. It was man. Here come the girls pressing rape charges on the 2 of these guys. But they don't have girls in Texas because they're making a buck. That goes with the territory. That's another thing. That's one reason there too that sometimes it's better not to have no money. It's when you got money, people are looking to fuck you over. It tells you that in the Bible this morning. I read it. This guy's accusing me of something. They or the community's accusing you of something that you didn't do. And I've been a couple of times, not too many, but a couple of times when it, well, I hate to say it, man, fucking female saying you did something that you didn't do, you know. There again, it's political. He said, she said, he was, well, yeah. I remember this guy's talking about. Sometimes I tell you from now to Christmas, you get I don't know what it is. It triggers the CIA, mind control, all that. The loneliness. family deserts you, your ex deserts you, you don't want nothing, not a successful life. But I think back to the times that I don't have to get a lawyer. I'm not locked up right now like Diddy. Oh, Diddy. The girl says a couple of nights ago, well, Tisha Tells or something. I like her. She's kind of cool, like Puerto Rican, black or something. She's a fireball, man. She's like about 22, 23. It's like, yeah, that might work. She's, young and idealistic, whatever. But she says, oh, well, Diddy, they put him in solitary confinement for 30 days. He's in Brooklyn House of D. I don't know if that's a federal, whatever. Yeah. But she said, oh, not 3 hours, not 3 days, 30 days. It's bad. I said, well, shit. I was thinking of getting in a fight when I was in Rikers Island because what do you call it? The population, when you're in population, motherfuckers get on your nerves after a while, man, with all the yelling and screaming and television blasting and all this dumb shit going on. And there's nothing to do. Knock one of these motherfuckers out, fucking go into. I didn't know they raise you don't get released right away. They add time to your fucking sentence. See? So you're walking this tight line. Uh, Anyhow, it says, she says, well, Diddy's 60 years old, the guy's about 24, 27. And I'm looking at Diddy on another YouTube thing. I think twice about fucking with him. I don't think he's no lightweight. Well, I seen him go off once in the office or something. He's throwing his headset down. Motherfucker. And I says, come on with it. But see now, what they got the same way like Snoop Dogg got that guy Titus on the Greg Gutfield show. That he's a championship rep. I never heard of the motherfucker. Just seen him a couple of years ago. I really don't like the guy. He's from Bakersfield. He's from California, but he just runs that on black shit into the ground. Anyhow, so he was a bodyguard for Snoop Dogg, Mr. Attitude of all time, pothead, fucking totally killed the guy. Did 2 years in L.A. County, blah blah blah. Now his son was playing football for UCLA or something, so I don't know, whatever. But I started thinking right away, well, you need a bodyguard. That means you can't defend yourself like that. Prince Harry got bodyguard or security. Well, of course, there's a lot of nut jobs. When you got something or you're famous, they're looking for you. Like they're coming after Trump, they try to kill him a couple. If you look to take this guy aside and have a beer or a coffee with him or have some lunch or something, what's really bothering you, But I mean, like Prince Harry, he was in the military. Same way with Andrew. He was in a helicopter. I think he was. One of them was in combat. Prince Andrew, man, that's a big motherfucker, man. I wouldn't fuck with him to start with, but and Snoop, I mean, he's kind of sort of skinny, a little dopey, you know. Guys like that, if they know how to fight, they'll clean your clock, So, and then Puff Daddy, supposedly he got no money, or his mother's got all the money, got a hold of all the money, so he don't have no money. So they're not going to rob you because you got, $500,000 on you. Whatever. So but you get the impression, and I don't know, maybe they want to create this idea that they're weak. So you'll feel sorry for them, or you'll take it easy on them, or something. Yeah, Puff Daddy. I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, because I know some of them in Rikers Island back when, in the late '70s. Oh, half these guys don't know how to fight. They might put up a fight or fight like a girl, you know. They don't know how to box. Okay. So in jail, the problem is you get cut later, or one of his gang members is going to get you or kill you or whatever. So I was thinking when Diddy first went in here, he's going to have all the friends because he has a very great potential to make money or get things done on the outside. You know, he could make money, you know, if he wanted to get one of his guys or he's got a crew that will do something to somebody that could protection or extortion or whatever. You know, he could probably make money off that inside. I think he was trying to get out first, but anyhow, so they put him in. I don't think they're gonna. Well, they give him 52 months or something, 4 years and 8 months, something like that. They probably either let it go or because he's a big star and all that. Or give him 5 years, round it off or whatever. Surprised man, damn, he ain't going over to see, take his knee pads with him to see Diddy. Or you know, he wants to lock up Netanyahu. But that's the Muslim come over to this country and right away. I mean, this guy's a 27-year-old sap. Right away, they want to turn the world on its head. You know, oh, I arrested Netanyahu, fuck the Jews, and uh, you know, hey kid, hey, he fucked up with the Italians. He didn't include them in a map of New York. Said AOC, Ilhan Omar yelling at Trump. I think it's made up to get the fuck out of her country. You know, that type of shit. So I'm like, I don't know, like back in the 70s, I don't know how real it was. I know I checked out a bunch of people, everybody in the brothers packing and the mob controlled. You get somebody like, I don't care if they're in public office or not, who the fuck they are, maybe not the president, but anybody under that, the guy from here was a drug dealer, Chagra or something back in the 60s that had an operation from Argentina to Dallas to El Paso to Las Vegas, whatever. And finally got locked up. And then I think Lee Trevino, not Lee Trevino, LBJ's right hand man did some fraud deals out in Pecos. I found out about that. You know, my dad went to a trial for him. I forget his name, but anyhow, he was kind of like a hitman. So I guess Chagra paid him to. I was in '79 in New York. My lawyer told me about that. Hey, they're one of the banditos. He said it was a bandito. Knocked off a Supreme Court judge. So he said that Chagra had ordered a hit on a Supreme Court judge. I think he was locked up at the time, but something like that. That was Woody Harrelson's dad. So that's what, 30, 40 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. Shit happens, you know. So they're not afraid to. You've got to pay a little extra if they're a politician. Lindsay was the mayor back in '70 when I hit New York. They have a nice suit. I mean, it wasn't with this fucking beard, fucking cat eating motherfucker. You go dine out, you know, nice restaurants, fucking the women, the guys went to a Broadway play at night, went to the after. I mean, that was something in New York, fancy schmancy night, you know, like the Waldorf. Got entertainment, Frank Sinatra, you got mobsters in there. They ain't playing, man. They're all fucking dressed nice. clean up all that. You fuck with them, they're gonna, you know, end up in the river. You know, every day, every night. You know, yeah, it's only 13 a day. You know, uh, they had a TV show, The Equalizer, back then. Real sophisticated type English type dude that found out somebody's fucking somebody over. So he goes, you wouldn't even look at the guy. He looks like a quiet old man. You know, you'd have close to you, find out put a gun to the back of your head, man. Boom. They had movies like that and shit. You know, contracts. I just leave me the fuck alone. I'll figure out my little shit. Something to eat, take a shower, at, smoke up the cigarettes. Fuck it. You know, get a shit on YouTube. You know? But that getting back to the Iranian thing with the Houthis, they're in Iran with the IRGC, the Iranian Guard Control or whatever the fuck they are. That Pickaxe Mountain says that the Israelis got a radar that can detect that there's a nuclear weapon or missile. They carved out this mountain like back at 7,000 years ago. Said they had some in all over the world, in India and shit. It's like a mountain. The people over there took decades. They would carve out like an underground city. It was cooler under there too, whatever. And unbelievable, man, the way they carved statues and shit. Is like, I mean, it's like 1,000 tons of work, man. You know, that's what they did back then. So anyhow, we got the new technology. You can penetrate the mountain, the rock, and see an image or heat image or radar image. They call it laser, whatever. And they said, so that Pickaxe Mountain. So they was gonna. Trump was looking to. If it's nuclear, it says nuclear. So if they do have a nuclear weapon, then I'm thinking if you threw an atomic bomb or bunker buster on that, it's going to blow up. But it's also underground, so it may raise the shake up the rocks a little bit, but it's not going to really do too much damage to the people. So I'm thinking. I don't know all the details, you know, but I'm thinking, well, yeah, go ahead and take that out. Now they don't have no bargaining power, or what they wanted is no longer there. The Houthis is Iran's got the Strait of Hormuz on one side, on the east side, on the west side it's the Red Sea, and there's another strait at the bottom right across from Strait of Hormuz. So now they're fucking with ships going through there, and people are scared, so the price of oil is going up a little more. It's an economic war also. So I don't know what the game plan is, but it's interesting. It's sad also, but like Trump said, I gotta agree with Trump, man. That if we have peace, make them be peaceful or business-like. If you want to believe in Mohammed, that's up to you. But when you're threatening this country for 47 years, death to America, 9/11, and others, and killing people all over the world, beheading Christians and all that, Americans at Cole, the ship that bombed that, killed some people. When you're doing that, it's, you know what? Payback's a bitch, you know? So even the score, whatever. And then, but, they're too, get rid of their leaders. But if they all think alike, and you got a problem, that ideology. But sometimes it's like gentle parenting don't work. You got to put your foot down. And it's an old saying that praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. You got to stand your ground or get I don't know the word to use to put these make these people fall into compliance. We're not asking nothing. What Trump said to develop this country, you're going to send you a bunch of money to get businesses started. That's the history of the United States. I don't know. Maybe Trump won't give them nothing, or let, like Venezuela, kick out the dictator and put in there, a prime minister or president or something, and you're selling oil to make money. And 10 to 1, that prime minister, the new guy's putting all that money in his pocket. They get greedy. How much you need, man? You're living in a fucking mansion and people are starving on the street. Build some schools. Even Oprah did that. I don't know if she's harvesting young girls or something. Made that, cinder block, drill a couple of wells for the people in Africa, and teach them, educate them. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. And then having a business, one thing should lead to the next. Venezuela, Argentina, start doing business other than coke and drugs. Agriculture, like mangoes, or coconuts, or bananas, fruits and vegetables. And then people don't raise a big stink about doing farm work and have them create a company with, some of the countries got wealthy people, the elitists, and have them start a company and hire a bunch of peasants or whatever to do the work, and everybody make money. Now, the peasants, the ones doing the actual work, probably get the short end of the stick, but that's sort of kind of human nature also. It tells you that in the Bible again. You know, treat your neighbor fairly. And if they would do that, God tell you in the Bible, that's what He wants. So I don't see no problem with that. You know, so but again, I say this is what you call politics. It says Russia is helping. Now, how the fuck I think they're at? Ukraine's bombing the shit out of Moscow with their drones. It's starting to gain a little upper hand over there. And like back in the 80s, where Russia virtually went bankrupt and they accepted democracy for a few years. You never hear no more about that. Maybe 5 years or 10 years. They went back to that communist dictatorship. And that they say Ukraine sent a bomb or something, sent a missile or something to, I guess they got long range. Maybe Zelensky figures, let me do this, shoot one missile at Iran, and Trump will love me and give me some money. That's what he's like a cokehead. And Russia did the same thing. They're helping Iran. It's politics, World War III. I'm like, what the fuck? But if the Saudi countries, which Trump was going down there visiting, and now we know that he's also telling them that, hey, fuck Iran, I'm going to go over there and fuck them up, and you be on our side. Now, Iran started throwing missiles at these different Saudi Arabia and all that, wants to make a bigger war. So Trump is not telling the 100% the truth. Maybe he wants to deceive because they're in tune with what he's thinking and what he's being advised. There's some leaks, like that Mondami guy wanted to talk to the head of Iran very right away. He was going to come to the UN. So, man, damn, he wants to be part of that shit. And, there's people in the Democrat Party that are for Iran and fuck the U.S. Yeah, so let's see how it plays out. But it's some way out shit. See, that's different. Like Afghanistan, too, is with all that, the CIA's involved with that heroin trade. It's been there for 1,500, 2,000 years, where England would come over there, get the heroin, the French Connection back in the 60s. The movie came out in the 70s. But it was millions of dollars in the heroin trade. And then the English people, Marseille, France, Corsica, it's all mob. Like, they don't give a fuck, they step on it in Yugoslavia or Hungary, one of them, and it goes to Marseille, the port, and you don't come up to Canada down to New York City. But the English people went like down there to India. Also, it says India got a drug problem, a heroin problem. Well, their neighbors, Afghanistan. you know. So anyhow, they went down there, and then on up, blah blah blah, to you got Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and then in Japan, and then China, basically. The ports, that eastern seaboard, like what you got over here. So he started, they're getting all the Chinese hooked on heroin. Well, that's when Mao Zedong, I think it was back in the 20s, uh, killed all the heroin addicts and cut the British off from any trade at the ports. I said, oh, yeah, that's the history of this shit. But then when you say it out loud and you think about it, the U.S., what they're going to tell you on television or on the internet. I had a guy tell me that about 3 or 4 months ago. He said, "You ain't ever going to stop that shit." And I'm thinking that, well, like China, I guess they did kill a lot of people, imprison a lot of, give them 20, 30, 40 years, make them stop using it. Now, I was watching, and then I was talking with Australia. There's an island outside where they drop off the cartels and they'll drop off the drugs. That's about 50, 60 miles from Australia. They're not people in Australia, the poor people and all the people in the rural areas. There's a lady in Afghanistan, they got other crops, she said, but the heroin pays the most. Here we go back to its greed. You could plant, I don't care, potatoes, tomatoes, fucking walnuts, whatever the fuck, uh, to feed people, raise chickens or pigs or cattle or whatever the fuck, so we can eat. The whole world needs to eat, right? So the lady said right there, she said, now they got rehabs now, which I thought was interesting. Uh, well, these guys are, brown skin, Laos, Miramar, something like that, is north of Laos. It's right there by Iran and shit, right around that area. It's a small country, kind of jungle type forest. It's a third world, you're going back to the Stone Ages, there's farms and agriculture and then a little dirt road, you guys got little motorcycles, carts that are pulled biblically by oxen. shit like that. It's like out of the Bible. And they've set up some governmental programs. They're in touch with communication, television. You got rehab if somebody wants to quit using drugs. But they were giving them some new meals, just like California. I thought that was interesting. But try to help people if you can, because you realize that you're caught up in something that is evil. It's no good. So you're either going to die, go to prison, uh, there goes your family. And some of them other cultures are very serious about family and all that. So they get in their priests and nuns and all that. The good people try to help if you can. You can't help. You can't save everybody, but I don't see. But looking at the big picture, to be realistic, not pessimistic, but realistic. You can't save the whole world, And the people, like it tells you in the Bible, the people looking for evil, looking to do evil, they spend every waking moment thinking how they're going to steal, how they're going to fuck up somebody. And the older I get, the more I see it. That that's the way it is, man. People don't give a. My friend says she took her lunch to work today, and I asked her. She didn't answer me. She said, "You got a locker?" It's like a factory type place. Break room. You got the lockers. Keep your shit in there. I don't think she was thinking about that. She's in a group and da da da. But people are taking her food, and she says today is like her third or fourth day at work. She said somebody stole my lunch, and I said, "Well, get yourself some hot peppers or habaneros and little red, yellow, orange looking tiny little peppers that knock the top of your head off. They're hot as fuck. I wouldn't even try one of them. I said, get some of that, cut it up, make yourself a hamburger, and put that shit in little, cut it up in little pieces and put it in your hamburger. Next time somebody steals your lunch, motherfucker's gonna be yelling and screaming, fucking making a scene, and fucking hot peppers will kick in. You're gonna be shitting your ass off all afternoon, you know. She's sweet as pie, She's like she's not a she got a little experience for a 32, not New York City and all that. Country girl sort of, and I mean she's doing good, great. It should help you. She's got a big heart. That's the problem. See, people, she don't know how to stand up for herself. People mistake kindness for weakness. So you got to draw your boundaries and. I tell her and her little daughter's a cute little blonde girl that's swimming and, with the older girls. I tell them now the kids nowadays, man, fucking learn. I was selling used cars in Bellflower, California. Right next door was a martial arts place. Walk by there once or twice at night. The doors open. They got the little 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. Learn how to fucking defend yourself. Fucking. There's shit on YouTube. I was watching Bruce Lee. He was gifted. He was so fucking fast. The Shaolin monks, they don't fuck with nobody. But they discipline of putting the hands in hot sand and, toughen up. My mother told me that back when I was like 5 years old. You toughen your hand, keep hitting, Kill Bill. Learn how to, from the master, learn how to break a board that's, inch and a half thick or something. You toughen, you toughen up. I do a little bit every day. And sand, you get tough. You go through somebody. You don't need a knife or a gun. And I've seen veterans. It's somebody in the aorta that is vein right here. Pop. I can knock a motherfucker out for a minute or two. Cuts off the blood circulation. You don't want to kill him because now you're probably going to jail. Said if it's hard, use it. My buddy told me that back in the 70s. He says, I used to fuck up my knuckles. He says, get a motherfucker up on the chin. You're going to break his jaw, knock his teeth out, whatever. So if you want to kill the guy, hit him with your open hand palm. Yeah. Hit him in the nose. That'll break the nose. Push that bone up into the brain. Probably kill him, but you don't need nothing. Practice doing that every day. 3 to 6 months, you don't need a gun. You learn to respect yourself. And if somebody's disrespecting you, you can put a stop to the first. Try to walk away. Just say, didn't mean to bother you. I had a kid coming up to me, bumming money I couldn't use. I'm on the internet trying to close my bank. Hey man, I got tattoos all over his face. I said, I can't. I said, just a second, man. I'm doing something, whether you like it or not. And that guy's 27, 28. I know that's a good age. That's when I first started getting in trouble. He's not listening. Hey man, you got $2, please. You're making me sick. I'll tell you what, man. I got some cigarettes here. I'm going to give you a Camel. It's going to knock you on your ass, but I don't have any money on me. I was showing you on the internet. He said, don't even talk. Why would I talk to this guy? He's got a tattoo right here. He's 27. Like, you're so far from where I'm at. I'm 47 years clean and sober. I can't find a job. I just look Texas Workforce Commission. You can get a quick, like 1 month, 8 months. There's also a quick, you can get credentialed for labor, a skill, teach you a skill. I'd go that route. I think I was over there on probation. I had to go to the California Department of Labor, I believe. And I didn't like it, but I had to do it. And it was, they're going to try to get you a job so you can, that's what she went through in Ohio. She posted something with a Ohio, same thing, workforce commission, state. Uh, you go to work for a big factory. These people, Japanese or whatever, they're making windshields. Man, there's fucking billions of dollars of factory and all. They put these motherfuckers to work. $19 an hour. What the fuck? McDonald's pays 10. This lady got 4 kids. She's doing a Medicaid. She's quick with all this shit. I don't do that. I'm a man. Carmine is my wife is doing the typing. I don't do that shit. I'm a man. I'm going to do the running around. I'm going to try to get my medicine and all that. See here, Juarez, my neighbor, get me that hepatitis C medicine, $1,400. This thing here, they're talking about 40 grand. Well, the government's going to pay for it, make you think that you're lucky that the government is looking out for you. But you're going to pay $10 a month copay. It's a system. It's just, you're taxed all your life on the money you make, the house you buy, the car you buy. That's what is sad, but yeah, you buy a house and you still, now they raise the taxes. Man, you can't win that. They got a plan to that you die before you start collecting your own money back. Because I didn't retire. I was 75. Supposed to work till you're 65. I kept working. My health started getting bad. It's not. I was like, fuck it. Joe Biden finished me off with that $5 diesel. JB Hunt, $10,000 owner operator incentive. Yeah, 10 grand to get my truck legal. Oh, they jacked my insurance up to 18 grand, double it, because I got after COVID. Now here comes the highway patrol. They've been sleeping for 2 years. There's 5 motherfuckers I seen right quick just leaving El Paso on the east side. The motherfuckers sitting by the side of the road, Texas Highway Patrol. I see you and you see me, motherfucker. I'm rolling on. I got a load. And I'm watching, looking in the rearview mirror. The second I got by him, his wheel started turning. I just went ahead and pulled over. I said, "All right, well, you got a tail light out. If you fix it right now, you can go. You got a load on, yes, sir." The motherfucker writes me up for about 4 or 5 minor violations. A mud flap was torn. It was less than 5 inches above the ground, some shit like that. I think I was missing a mud flap or something. And this thing, the air control valve for the brakes, there's a little panel with about 8 different air connections going in, channels it to a different tube or something. But it's right, you got the steering wheel, it's right behind the brake pedal, right at the bottom of the dashboard. It's a fucked up spot to get to. You open the door, you sit on the edge of the floor. You can't get on. I'm 5'10". I had a little Mexican guy. He was about 5'7". He had small hand. He got right up there. You can't. It is so fucking tight. What I did, I got open the hood, and I cut out a piece that I could get my hand in, just a small piece like that. I put some duct tape back when I'm finished above where that air hose. Now this air shit's very critical, but I had to do it. So I got to get that. I bought a new. I found the right one. Uh, Little air valve. You need a new air valve. I put it in there and I didn't get it right. And then I tried to put it on the bottom. There was a plug. I said, let's see if it'll work on this bottom plug. And it didn't. In the meantime, I'm out of money. I grabbed this load. I said, fuck it. Try to explain that to these motherfuckers. They're just going by the book. They're out the military. Da, 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 da. The black motherfucker. He ain't even from here. Anyhow, he writes me up for all this shit. I finished fixing that tail light because it's all rusted out at the back. Clean the shit out of it around. Some of them screws don't want to come out. You're trying to get it out. Takes time. It's a bitch and a half. And now with my MIG welder, I would get some 1/8 inch, 3/16 or 1/8 inch sheet metal. Cut a little square, about 6 or 8 inches, or maybe a foot for both taillights, and weld it underneath on the frame. Let it hang down and put your new wires, clean it off real good, and put your screws in there, drill some more. This takes 4 or 5 hours, and get a good connection, spray over it, or spray paint over it. They keep the water out so it don't rust. You got a good connection. You don't have no problem with your taillights. That little side marker light, motherfucker, just a little bit of rust fucks you all up, you know. But to fix it now, if you take it in the shop, that's going to be a day and a half. It's going, to, you know, 10 hours is going to be $300 that you don't have. You know, politics again. Motherfuckers told, oh, you're eating. I'm eating halfway decent. Oh, you're eating up all your profits. Okay, here we go with JB Hunt. They got to figure it out to the penny. See, I don't like to do that because driving, when I used to hitchhike cross country, you do pretty much what you want, but when they're in control and they're super, the penny pinching is what they're doing. Now, they've made their way. Mrs. Hunt, her boyfriend back in the 40s, I think she was 14 or 15. She put a story, she posted a story. Like 14 or 15, she met this guy somewhere around Little Rock, Arkansas. So he borrowed $10. I think she was out in the country and he was from Little Rock or something like that. So anyway, I guess he's 17 or 18. So he borrows $10. That's what I used to do. I'd bum some money. And then he hitchhiked to go see her. That's what I used to do. So I said, oh man, I'm in the right place here. Now, he went in the service 2 or 3 years active. Back then, that's all you did. In the early 60s, came back, they got married, da 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 da. Got 2 or 3 trucks and wanted to buy another couple. They've been at it for a couple of years. That guy's about 23, 24 now. You know, young, dumb, and full of cum. You know, they're making it. So he went to a guy, country type, farm type, redneck type people, and the guy says, "Hey, I'm going out of business. I got 5 trucks. I'll make you a deal on the 5 trucks." He wanted to buy 1 or 2 more to add to what he had. I think he had 2 or 3, something like that. The guy said, "I'll make you a deal on the 5 trucks. Take them off my hands, and I'll give you a good price." So he did that, and they never looked back. Now the motherfucker got what 2 or 300,000 trucks, and they're posting they're getting rid of fleet upgrade. They're getting rid of their trucks and selling them because they got 400,000 miles on. I couldn't help it. I put my comment. I said, "Well, I bought a truck with 1 million miles, and I had 2 million miles owner operator fixing it myself. Big fucking difference because the company drivers, oh hey, hi, howdy boys and girls, you know they no motherfucker. JB Hunt takes real good care of their trucks, and they got an excellent mechanic department, and they keep me rolling. I go home every weekend. They stick it in your fucking mother, man. Black boy, queers. I keep my mouth shut about that, but I try to be nice. But I've also seen what they got, and if it works for them, which it does, more power to you. They got it when I started. It was 60, started in 63. I seen JB Hunt going over the road back in 82. Well, that's the JB Hunt. They used to have them chrome door, chrome doors in the back. And I used to hear on the CB it said, "Oh, there goes the JB with the clear doors," or I don't know if they meant queer. But I mean, we're over there Vietnam vets and shit. It wasn't none of these little black sock flip flops, fucking raghead motherfuckers, bagged ass fat 500-pound motherfuckers with, you know. I'm sorry, not really, but whiskey drinking, cigarette smoking, country music listening people. Now, I'm making a healthy dinner tonight in my microwave. I'm a truck driver. Yeah, you ain't no truck driver, motherfucker. That's a modern day steering wheel holder. They'll be going back to school time now. They're looking to, they're going to quit because it's getting too cold and too dangerous. Yeah. October 15th, November 15th, you better know God. Uh, Anyhow, they got in the Fortune 500, the Forbes, the top 500 company, and they moved up to about 348 or something in the last 12, 13, 14 years. Business wise, you can't beat them. But every time they post a mamby-pamby success story, how happy the company driver is, the first comment is, so JB Hunt just, oh, they made 17 million profit last year. It just came out last week with the first comment. So you can't, I'm making 53 cents a mile. It used to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cents a mile. But what do I know? You're making 50. That's all you're going to get because you're a company driver. Say the rest of it because you only want to make yourself look good. Okay. So anyhow, you're making. He says you made $17 million profit. Can't you raise the company driver's rate? Deal with it, motherfucker. Don't like it, go somewhere else. They don't give a fuck. It's all money. Money is a two-way street. So I like the owner operator because you go at your own speed. Sometimes I got fucked too many times, but sometimes when everything's running good and God's looking out for you, you do two or three good loads in a row. Man, you're sitting there, you're ready to party, man. You got 5 grand in your bank account. You go rent a motel, go get a steak, $25 steak, and get you some female company or whatever. Uh, that happens once in a while, maybe once or twice a year. The rest of the time, it's a grind. It's a grind that I have. I think if you got family support, if you're a veteran, because I notice most of the company drivers they're all veterans, and no offense to them, but well, I was the owner operator. Well, why are you getting defensive? Because well, I want to keep driving a truck. That was one of the first red flags I seen. Guy's 50, I'm 65. Oh, I'm a trucker. I've been out here for 30 years. Yeah, but you've been driving a company. They don't want to hear it. I quit. I quit talking about it. Now that I'm not driving no more, I'll talk about it again. I'll go right back to the same shit. Well, they got a hot shot, a dually pickup with a 30-foot trailer. Hey, 7,900 a week for the last 3 weeks. Well, shit, I'd take the next 6 months off. Fuck it. You know, you don't have to have a CDL. The thing is, to be a truck driver, truckers used to get some respect, and the veterans. But I knew in Vietnam, but I don't ever say nothing to them now. Ain't nothing but respect. But by the same token, it's like you let yourself get drafted. You could have gone to college for 2 years. You could have gotten that certified skill, Texas workforce. Could have done the same thing that any of us Mexicans, blacks, poor people did. But my buddy from West Virginia, oh, my dad was in the military. I volunteered to go to Nam. I said, Randy, are you fucking crazy or what? Fucking greatest guy I ever met. And then they got him as a POW. They captured him, and not the greatest life. If in your mind you're good with yourself, but man, I feel sorry for you, man. Really, uh, broke, medically fucked up. That's the thing. Well, I see veterans that are fucked up medically, at VA hospital and all, they become alcoholic, drug addicts. A lot of them, they're not all good. This guy coked up my ex when she was pregnant. Not good people did a hit. So they're not all heroes. But it's hard to say anything because you got Trump with the military buildup and all that. Fourth of July, waving a flag. Oh yeah, I lost my brother when he was 25. He just got married. 4 years of college. He was a pilot. Had a good life in front of him. Pilot crashes. The guy he was training didn't pull it out of a spin. Norfolk, Virginia, 21 gun salute. That's that now. Now, Victor, what do you have planned for your life? I started fucking up right away. I was 9. My deportment come down from A and B to D, and I told my mother when I got locked up, my lawyer wanted to see. He said, "You're pretty clear. Let me see your elementary school records," and you could see it in black and white. My mother sent me a copy. I said, "You see that, Joe, right there in 1959? My brother had just died. I got a D in deportment, which was horrible back then. In January 1960, when my brother died in 59, it fucked me up. My mother went to a convalescent hospital about 3 or 4, 5, 6 months. My dad took another drink, kept it inside. He cried for 5 minutes. My older brother doesn't talk about it. And my nephew says, "Oh, he got traumatized because the body was, plane crash." He identified the body, but he was all fucked up. Well, yeah, that would traumatize me too. But therapy wasn't shoved down your throat back in the 50s. Anyhow, that's is that were you not smart enough to go to college or junior college? Patriotism, it's a two-way street. I say I was patriotic, but after that, I don't know. You see something, you're shown something that kind of one-sided, if you would. Sometimes people that are holy rollers. This guy says something on Instagram. He says, the people got no problem attacking because I'm cursing on this video when they should be congratulating me for getting off drugs and alcohol." Guy's nice looking kid, about 35. I said, I totally 1000% agree with you. You're missing the forest for the trees. Walk a mile in his shoes. It's not easy to get up. Oh, you're not going, once you just quit. It's not that fucking easy. It's a whole mental, physical. Bill Wilson and the stockbroker and the doctor, 1930s, about quitting, getting off, sobering up, getting off booze. Uh, it's a mental, physical, and spiritual problem. You kind of got away from God. Yeah. Your health. I was getting lucky I didn't get psoriasis of the liver. I was 7 notches I lost on my belt after 1 month I quit drinking. There's something I couldn't. This thing, my coper wasn't working. It was broken, And then, so there's the mental, the physical, and then you get back to God. And like I say, I'm not a saint, but I'm 1,000 times better than I was. I still curse. Shit don't bother me. And I have to explain it sometimes, like with this Medicaid lady. I don't want to go back to this medical thing where, let me say one thing. If I choose to take my own life, like Oregon, the right to die, I don't resuscitate me. You And if that bothers you so much, you see a therapist or a psychiatrist. There's help available. I've addressed my problem. I keep addressing it. I peel the layers of the onion. That's a rabbit hole like this politics. Do it till you're satisfied. Do the best you can with what you got. Leave the rest to God. I've been lucky. I've been blessed in so many ways. I've been cursed in a few ways. So everybody's got their own opinion. My brother says your opinion is based on what you have experienced in life. That's a good one. We used to argue all the time. I'll agree with you on that. And I think some black people told me, I'm trying to understand what you're saying, fake accent. Uh, Enlighten me. Enlighten, like Illuminati, put a light on it so we can see what we're talking about. Oh, the Illuminati. Well, hold it, motherfucker. Let's talk, get a cup of coffee, smoke a cigarette, whatever. We can agree to disagree. Based on what we talked about, my brother went back, my family pushes my buttons because I was the baby of the family. They know where the buttons are to trigger me. And I go ballistic. Well, see, Victor's kind of violent, man. We need to stay away from, we don't want to ask him over for dinner on Sunday or Thanksgiving or Christmas. Better we just, my sister won't even pick up the phone now. What the fuck is your problem? I know what the problem is. And she will hang up on me if I say, what the fuck is your problem? She'll click. You don't get it. You don't want to get it. You don't have to get it. First thing I says to her when I came back with my mother and father, and I says, one reason I came back to El Paso is to get to the roots of my alcoholism, which is a family disease. Oh, you can feel the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. And you are my sister, so that includes you, doesn't it? But no, what? I said, no, I gotta go. Okay, bye, mom, bye, dad, bye, Victor. Get your nice Cadillac, drive home to your country club house. I went to her house once. Nice pictures, everything except me and my son. Well, you were an unwanted child. Unwanted. Where did you get that? You're Catholic. You went to a nunnery, a fucking Loretto Academy. Where did that idea come from? Like my dad, I could, oh, dad used to whip me and all. So therefore, everybody's bad. He was an alcoholic, very insulting to my husband, your second husband. She has created a bubble, Cinderella type thing. Being my husband, my family. My nephew starts in last January, so you insulted my family. I think he was fucking him and my other nephew. They're fucking. He don't drink, just out of his fucking mind. I said, look, man, I texted him. I don't know what I said, man. I didn't. From the bottom of my heart, I don't mean to insult anybody. You know, I'm sorry if you took offense to something I said, but that's on you, to because he don't want to. He's the lawyer and I'm the client, and here's the judge, and just say yes sir, no ma'am, and go on about your merry way. Sign here, and here's you some money. But what about the problem we got? Oh, I got another appointment, Vic. I hate to cut you off. Same thing every time. I think I made a ton of progress and a success for what I tried to do. Little victories in life. I think I'm great. I love me. I do fuck up. I make mistakes, but I challenge myself to learn new stuff and do different stuff. When you first sober up, change. We're going to make a change, and we're going to change everything about yourself. Say what? You just start little by little. If you tie your shoes every day with creatures of habit, you start with your left. I do. I start with my left shoe first. I put it on and then tie it and then put my. Well, today, be conscious. Wake your brain up. Be conscious of what you're doing. Take control up here of what you're doing and how you respond or react or whatever. Just today, just today, I'm going to put my right shoe on first and tie it up, or put my left shoe on and tie it up. Right shoe, whatever. I eat the same thing every fucking day. I bought some spaghettios like when I used to drink with spaghettios with the meatballs, Chef Boyardee. And it's cold. I said, fucking, I'm hungry. I just want to take that hunger away. I ate about 3 or 4 spoonfuls. I said, I'm good right there. Back to the stock market thing. I said, okay, that's cool. Finished my coffee, drank a little soda or juice or whatever I got. And it was a change. Have 1 egg and 2 pieces of toast every same shit. Well, that's why I listened to my friend. She says, oh, I just had some eggs with hash browns. So I ordered next time. I put it down on my Walmart list. Hash browns. Oh, cool. Warm them up and oh, fucking good. Just something different, you know. Uh, Went to get a long sleeve white T-shirt with a pocket. They give me these polyester from China or something. I don't like them. I was going to do that when I'm welding to keep the sun off my arms, and when it burns you or something. This will stop it a little bit. I usually put my jacket on, but it's too fucking hot. I got to get up earlier, which I like to sleep when it's cool. And I can take the heat. I went out the other day at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I says, "What? Get out there in the heat. The fucking heat don't bother me that much." It was half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'm hitting the shade and smoking cigarettes. And you did that and you did this, and another half hour, and go take a nap. Fucking, I'm done. But my nephew said, "Oh, you're a late riser. Like I'm lazy." I'm not lazy, motherfucker. I'm just. Why is it everything that I do? Because you're a lawyer. When that ego, you got two $20,000 Toyotas. I looked it up. I said, yeah, I looked it up on the county public records. The house is valued at 358,000. Uh, yeah, around that. What's that got to do with anything? You're my nephew, man. You're a month younger. We grew up together. I'm just asking. Where's this attitude coming from? Yeah, I fucked up. I didn't kill nobody. Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up a whole lot of times, but I don't no more. For years, took care of a disabled son. Uh, he did ask me once we transferred some money. He says, "How long you sober now?" At 47 years. 47 years. Yeah, motherfucker. You want me to repeat it? How long have you known me? 77 years. Was this something new? Or you just started to consciously say it out loud? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, my dad, well, you should be sober. My dad took a drink every day. You should be sober anyhow. That way of thinking. You're right, but what I tell them, I got some mental issues. I've taken care of my problem because I go to AA where I talk about it or praise the Lord. I read my Bible every day. What else do you want from me? You made it. I respect you. I'm glad for you. You're successful, but I am also. I'm lucky to be. I went down the hole so fucking far you wouldn't even believe it. So I am truly a child of God. I am a miracle. If you can't see it, that's on you. So we don't have to talk. We have some business to take care of. I wish you would facts only, Dragnet. Just the facts, ma'am. Okay, no problem. Ask me a question, I'll answer you. We won't talk about the way we grew up and psychological stuff. I says, oh, it's psychological warfare. Now, I try to analyze myself. I might seek mental, therapy or mental health to a degree, but I've already been through that shit. I don't like the AA club over here. It's all gay, tribal tattoo sleeves, and these people will not accept me. My friend's from upstate New York, a medic, Vietnam vet, got $500,000. AJ, he's in his own world, but beautiful guy. He's got 2 years more sober than I do, so he's 2 years older. Blah blah blah. So he's okay, whatever. He's still trying to compete because of an insecurity somewhere where his dad told him, "You're the dumbest motherfucker." He was helping him in construction. He says, "You're the dumbest motherfucker. You're a useless motherfucker." When he was like 9 years old. Okay, so I told him, I said, AJ, yeah, I said, you're fine in my book. You got money, you're single, but you got a new car, got a nice place to live. What else do you need? Have you ever been to jail? You don't have any tattoos, whatever. You know, he was an alcoholic. He must have, he don't want to open up. Okay, so you get the gist of it. And like I say, I just start working on something like hanging that door, and you learn. As I thought about it, yeah, I don't think about hinges, man. I says, oh, if I put a board up, cut the board on the roof, it's old, it's fucked up. Probably need to change the whole roof and all. Fucking money. They fix it. He said, we're going to call you Mr. Fix It back in Oregon. Here come Children's Protective Services, the bureaucracy. 4 years of college, marriage, over $10,000 in the bank. My whole family is guilty of that. I said, I figured something out. I said, you all are white collar. Yes. Suit and tie, pen and pencil. I said, I'm blue collar. And I said, don't you ever fucking put down a blue collar worker. Well, your brother was an engineer, my mom. So I looked up on the internet that night. There's 10 engineers. There's 10 different types of engineers. A mechanical engineer. Oh, here you go. I'm right. Sometimes I'm right. That don't mean I'm a bad person. And I'm not trying to shove it down your throat. I'm just stating a fact. And if you can't deal with that, you're not an adult. You're not mature enough. I wish you would, but you're not going to. So you're like that stubborn child. So I'm not going to gentle parent you. That doesn't work. I'm not going to, for real, parent you because you're not my child. I'm putting out there. I'm open to talking with you, but it's like an alcoholic, same thing. If you're not ready to listen, to change, to talk about things like an adult, and buddy, you got a serious problem. You're 76 years old. I've been all over the country. I've been halfway around the world by the time I was 23. I've talked to all kind of problems. Well, you seem to have problems dealing with people, my brother. I said, I've talked to doctors up the ass with my disabled son. I haven't had no fucking problems whatsoever. Maybe you're not too bright. You know, Navy officer, 4 years of college, money, his fifth wife. You got a problem. I told my sister that after the fifth divorce. I said, my brother got a problem. Oh, there's somebody at the door. I gotta go. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off. The word problem comes up. You fix it by not fixing it. You ignore it. Democrat, California, money, foreigners. Oh, one day at a time. If the good Lord says it's your last day on earth, and my friend Bill says, I'm getting excited. He's like about 91 now. He's excited for what? He says, I'm going to be with the Lord. I said, you know what? That's a good way to think about it. Lady got me on Facebook. Oh, I work with your nephew. I'm sorry you're so angry and bitter. I says, Bertha, I'm here at, this is my address. If you would like to come over any morning, we can go talk about this. Same thing. We go have something to eat or a cup of coffee. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about our family problems. No response. They put a label on me. I don't have to accept it. And you can, if that doesn't bother you, you could call me bitter and angry. I've been called every name in the book and then some, all over the place. So I know, I just say, yeah, I'm a prick. I know it. And that's good enough. Right? Most people, if you have an AA conversation, you might talk, have a conversation, both sides, an hour, 2 hours, go get something to eat, come back. I used to talk to this guy Gerard in Long Beach for Friday night, Vietnam vet. After the meeting, we would have a meeting, and at 10 o'clock, the club closes. And me and him continue our conversation outside, man, for an hour or two, just me and him. And we're just back and forth, back and forth. I love the guy. I don't know what happened to him, but he was a Vietnam vet. I don't know if he saw combat or not, but he had something that was bothering him inside. And I said, I understand. As much as humanly possible, for not really knowing you. I didn't grow up with you or nothing, but I said, I ran away when I was 12, dysfunctional family. There was a problem. I go back to when my brother died. That's when the shit started. And 5 years later, I'm 13, 14. I'm getting booze, beer, go to Juarez, Mexico, got laid, learn about life. And that's me. I finished high school in uh, 3 years, and then two classes for 6 months, and then one class. I just went to 1 hour a day. I was done. I got my high school degree. Went to college for 3.5 years. Studied accounting. It's not what you know; it's who you know. It's all mafia, and I'm drinking too much, and I'm wasting my dad's money that was paying for college. This is an accounting. I wanted to major in music and art. Accounting is a two-page fucking sentence. Da, 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 comma, da, 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 comma. If, but when, and then sometimes, motherfucking two fucking pages. I don't know if I had a hangover. I'm looking at this shit. I said, what the fuck am I studying? I worked down Wall Street, man. Fucking money, money, money. The girls are wearing micro mini skirts. People getting killed at night. You better tell the truth. You got your little buddies, and we talk about everything as much as you want. It's a whole different. What am I doing? I'm trying to please my father. The immigrant, eighth grade education, ended up with $1 million. Took it easy, work a 40-hour week. The economy was better, whatever. Learned English. He used to bust my balls. I used to bust his balls because he didn't speak good English when we're having a conversation. So that motherfucker, by the time he was about 60, I'm about 20 something. And he had a friend from Harvard in business that told him, I forget who it was. A guy from France was a buddy of his that come to the house sometimes with his wife, and played saxophone together. He taught me how to read music and then play. So we played something. He had given me a guitar, and there was. He told him, my dad, he says, "You're one of the smartest guys I ever met in my life." He knew about life, so and money. You know how to control not Trump money, just the money you got. Live within your means, be comfortable and healthy. Have a drink. He had one drink every night. I don't know. He slowed down. Had a cigar once or twice a year. Smoked a pipe like once or twice a year. I don't know. Had a nice car. The house is paid off. Got 7 rentals. What I don't need to do that. I don't need to. You like to watch the TV. Uh, Raised 4 kids. Put us all through college. My mother, she went to college age 50. Raised 4 kids. Went to college. Got her master's degree at Columbia. Blah blah blah. She was fucking crazy, man. She was fucking my mother was out there, man. But that's what I grew up with, and had her helping me in Pecos trying to get that 10 acres. You know, there's oil under this property. I said, I know, Mom. I already looked it up. The railroad bought all the rights, obtained all the rights back in the 20s or 30s for the mineral rights. Now my ex starts in with uh, she said, I found something that if you're working on your property and they've done nothing on it, that you can go to court or a judge. Now she could be making this shit up. I don't know. I said, if you find that out to be a fact, then I can, I said, here's the problem. I got this 10 acres, and there's oil in the Permian Basin in certain spots, to my understanding. It's like water. You try to find out where there is water. You need a radar, laser, or something to find out where there is water. They got seismic machines that can send a signal down to, 200, 300 feet, and it's a different pattern here, and it's the shape of a water, an aquifer, got a certain shape to it. So they're doing this mile after mile, and there's a big water aquifer. You drill your well right here, or not. There's nothing coming up, so 10 miles down they got an aquifer. 10 miles ain't going to do me no good. So same way with the oil, and it's this core, man, you're talking fucking money. Man. So, and they started fracking. They got the air so polluted over there. Might catch cancer or something. It's your eyes will start watering in an hour. I had to give that up. I wanted that for a place to work on my cars, but that's out. So I'm thinking Deming, New Mexico. Let's see what happens. There's for those of you younger ones that are the Panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. Also, you got Kansas. Also, you got $3,000 to $5,000 houses, pieces of shit. But or you go to the county where people have abandoned a house, not paid the taxes for 3 years or more, and if you go by find an abandoned house, you have a head start. Six of one, half dozen the other. I started with a raw land, and you got to go buy everything at the hardware store, come back, get some lumber, and start. Go to town and build yourself something. There's no building restrictions. Oh, okay, cool. So now you can't be a dumbass, but just figure stuff out. And they tell you that shit at the hardware store, how to do shit. Like Home Depot, same shit. Look it up on YouTube. Lay some cement. It's hard fucking work. Lay some cement, call it cement, figure out how many cubic yards, and down there let it set for 2 weeks. Put some water on it every day, just to it'll cure like that. It'll take you 2 weeks to put your wood down there, put your frame. You know, I got my 82-year-old mother helping me. Right? There's some rope. Pull it with that old Cadillac. Put it in park. Go back there. Put some rope around it to hold it, so when you come back, put another 2x4 up there, a couple of them to hold it up in this direction and the other direction, and then get that first nail in there. Oh man, what a good feeling! Standing up, and get it all lined up, and it's fun. I had my disabled son, so I was like under a lot of stress because children protective watching you like a hawk, and you can't spend. See, they don't want you doing that. They want you living in the Section 8. Anyhow, if you want to do that or you got a house that's already started, paint goes a long way. You can steam clean or just water and then paint. Start shaping up. And you got to fix things like this house. It was good. And then where the ceiling, two parts of the ceiling come down to a valley, and the tiles blew off. I got it. Eight different spots in the house. Need some roofing paper. It's about a foot. You put the roofing paper down, nail it down with roofing nails, fuck it, and then put the tile, the shingle on top. They tell you every fucking thing. This old house, YouTube, and then layer it from the edge, layer it back, and then hit the nails, and then to finish it off on the top, you put one that overlaps onto the other side, so the rain runs off it. Then for $10, $12, you get some of that black like asphalt type looking roof sealer. It's thick. You put it on with a little spatula or something. Get some gloves. Put it on with your hands, whatever. At the edge of the shingle, just put a layer. Maybe you do that every 3 or 4 years, whatever. You stop the leak because it's got in the house and it's the plaster's falling off. Now I got to do more work to fix it, but uh, I'm not doing nothing. So okay, you learn how to do it. Stop the bleeding first, and then like once I got up to 10 or 20 times, oh, I see how this shit goes. It ain't advertising. Oh, you got to get a roofer. It's $15,000. That's because you're a lawyer, motherfucker. Have you ever looked at shingles or felt them or used the old ones that fall on the ground and put them back up there? A couple of nails with the hammer. They stole my hammer. And I bought another one. Get a box of fucking nails and go to town. I left them sticking up about an inch because I'm not done. I want to take them out later. And it's already leaking, so I don't give a fuck. I got to order those new shingles. $35, $36. Get that. I need about 10 foot, 20 foot, 80 feet. It's going to cost me about $100. I might do it next summer. I don't know. I'm going to do one or two, play with it and see how. Oh, okay. How you figure it out? Nothing to it really. It took 2 or 3 hours. Okay, just to do once. Okay. So this is you learn by doing. I don't know. It's going to cost a few bucks. If you got a house, just go buy a $3,000 house in southern Oklahoma or the Panhandle of Texas. They got houses with $17,000 to $19,000. They got them all over the place. eBay used to have them. I used to look on raw land, and I think they had some fixer up. Well, I bought one in Kansas. The guy was bullshitting, but $2,400. But I'm tired of hearing these Generation X or Z or whatever keep blaming the boomers. Man, it's not our fault. It's the politics and the government, the Democrats and Republicans. It's your great uh, grandfather. Now, if you get up off your lazy ass and get your girlfriend and go on Amazon, you can buy some overalls for 20, $25 and get a pair of boots. Hit the hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's. Uh, at that 84, that's a hardware store. Come on, man. If you want to do that, yeah, you're gonna have to rough it like we always did. Bring your fucking $10. You get a blow up mattress at Walmart. Buy a couple of, go to Goodwill, buy a couple of used mattresses. You don't have to do it all right now. Get your mattress, put it on the floor like an old hippie. Get your blankets, a comforter, a couple of pillows, buy a couch, somebody give you one or something, you find one, throw shit out. I got a box spring. I wanted about 6 inches. I'm doing wrought iron. I says, hey, weld you a little bed frame. Get up off the ground. And I want to get a double bed because this one takes up too much room. When I get done with that, cut the wrought iron and make it to fit the double bed off the ground. Hey, oh, nobody started out with it. My dad was an immigrant. I'm first generation, and I'm looking at another thing with my nephews and niece. Uh, they're all second generation. My counselor back in '63, he said, "Oh, you're first generation." He says he was hitting on this back in '62, '63. You're going to have a little bit harder because it gets easier the longer you've been in the United States. It's just, and I'm looking, I says, you know what, that's right. And they don't want to hear it. I says, man, you make everything sound easy. I says, why don't you come over and help me on the, oh, don't get up on the roof, Uncle Vic. I fell off a ladder. Well, you're a dumbass. I go slow, I move like an old fucking dinosaur, and I don't give a fuck. You got to feel that ladder is scary, man. It's a little raggedy, and I said, oh shit, I don't fall, motherfucker. You're going to hit that ground hard. I fell off. I had a car carrier, and I fell off. A little girl was riding a bicycle, distracted me for a minute. I smoked too many cigarettes. It's hot. I fell off. Boom, hit the fucking grass. I was up a good 10 or 12 feet. Boom, knocked the wind out of me. If you ever played football, got the wind knocked out of you. I'm in El Paso, same thing. I'm over on a hard dirt lot. It's about 10 or 12 feet. I lost my balance. Boom, fell on that man. That fucking ground is hard. So I laid there for a minute. Like I passed out. I was in Terrell, Texas on Thanksgiving about 14 years ago. My son had died. I'm working my ass off. It's Thanksgiving. Work every day. It don't matter where. I'm putting that, it's fucking hotter than shit. And I'm putting that quarter-inch panel on in the inside of the trailer. The last thing I remember, I woke up. I said, "Man, it feels good to sleep here." I opened my eyes. I'm on the trailer floor. I passed out. I got up, went to wash my face, took a leak, get a coffee. I don't want to tell people in the truck stop, "Oh, you need to go to the hospital. You're old." You don't have to tell them everything you're doing. Oh, fucking children's protective over here is this fucking homicide detective. When my son died, did you ever beat your son or some shit? I'm like, I said, no, I'm a hard parent, but I mean, sometimes, you gotta spare the rod and spoil the child. I had to try to discipline him, but I also learned that he don't respond to nothing. He says, "Well, I'm sure." And fuck you, man. I'm sure you're not telling me everything. Hey, go fuck yourself. Go fuck your mama, your grandmama. I'm not trying to help. You don't know what the fuck I went through. I'm bringing my son home one day from the doctor. He decides to pass out. Usually he don't sleep for 2 or 3 hours for 17 fucking years. He's 220 pounds. I got to get him out the Cadillac about 11 at night. He just dead weight. He's passed out.